D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again.
Mike 34, Mike 34. Scoop, scoop, scoop.
Oh, yeah.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7.
Hey, check Mike 34. Mike 34.
All you get is a headache. All you get is a headache.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. 8 yards, first down as they're able to convert.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here we go. Here we go. Kill, kill, kill.
X3, 218, chopper. Check, check.
He will push his way down to about the 14. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
To the air again, it's Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Herb Smith Jr., his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
That ball don't belong to you, boy. That ball belongs to us.
Following the botch PAT, they're set to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They will run with Grant. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
54 Mike.
Now it's the backup Fitzpatrick. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football.
And a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
They start the drive with Cook. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
Topper, topper.
Check back to that. Army.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Cousins gives way to Cook. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Gun. Hey, we're good, we're good.
43's the mic. 43's the mic. Let's go, defense.
Hey, wahoo.
Man up, D. 43's the mic, boy. 43's
On 3rd down, Cousins. And he finds Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Bullock good on the extra point. And the lead now stands at 13. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Fitzpatrick. And he's going to go down again. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Third and long, Fitzpatrick following the sack. What can he and the gang come up with? From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. He's going to sling this deep downfield. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Hooked up on Mike Hughes. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get into field goal range. Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
48.
On second down now, it's Cook. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Undercrush. Undercrush.
Watch twist. Watch.
Hey, 382. Let's get him.
Double up. He's coming. Double up.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Cousins choosing to back away from the line and signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Check Mike 11. Get that quarter. Hey, Alpha. Hey, check.
Third and short yardage, Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Fitzpatrick. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line. He's sacked.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. 3rd and long, Fitzpatrick following the sack. What can he and the gang come up with?
54, right there. 54.
From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Here we go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
At the 25-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
All day, every day, any day.
Cousins now. And he slings one that's incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
So many qualities coaches tick off when they talk about, hey, what is it going to take to make an excellent quarterback? Accuracy has to rank near the top of every list.
Talk about arm strength, that's great. Mobility, great, but you need that accuracy in there. That one well in front of his man.
Yeah, now they got to face a big 3rd down.
Leave it. Bring up 48. 2.
3 bucks. Mike 30.
Hey, orbit.
Scoot.
I got it.
34's the Mike. He's coming. Check him.
Cut.
Hey, check back 34.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Lets it fly for Thielen. And got his man complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Here's Bullock now for the extra point. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And tough to win games if you're going field goal. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Heavy on the edges.
On 2nd down, it's Drake. And not much here as he'll get it to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
It's a gain of a yard.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now a give right side. It's Grant. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. A gain of 10, first down, Arizona.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
On first down, Drake. And an alley to run. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
On first down, Grant. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They go back to Grant. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Fitzpatrick to throw it. Flushed out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His first career sack.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. This is brought in at the 21. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They run it again with Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
43 is the mic. 43 is the mic. We don't want this.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
43 is the mic, boy. 43. Check, 43.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Hey, Echo.
Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Here's Dustin Colquitt now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. On the return is Peterson. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. This quarterback now just 3 of 6 throwing it, but that last completion gets a first down. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, it's Grant, and tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
57, come on. All right, D, let's go. All right, D.
3rd and short yardage, Fitzpatrick. He finds Hopkins complete. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47.
It's a good start. And the Cardinal first down.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for Minnesota, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll get another home date next week as the Jaguars will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time, right?